Good, happy Wednesday evening, October 28, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday evening, so let's begin. First up, we begin with COVID-19 updates. COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know information. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that for all of you right now. There are 10,641 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 8,836,861 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 478 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 775 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 409 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 120. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 2386. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalization. And in the red, deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. In orange, total hospitalization, red, deaths, and blue, recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily PCR test. Let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here. Your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Concord offers grants to help restaurants make indoor dining safer. Grants made available as outdoor dining nears end. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Expanded dining opportunity that really helped restaurants get through the spring, summer, and fall. That's going away.
So the Concord City Council came up with another way to help restaurants using money from a canceled fireworks show. The Greater Concord Chamber of Commerce is administering the grants.
The initial fund is $15,000. There may be opportunity to expand that. We're going to see how that goes.
The money is meant to bolster indoor dining capacity. Exactly how to do that will be left to the restaurateur.
For instance, dividers inside of restaurants, that's a perfect use for this. There are air purification systems that can be installed in restaurants, so we're looking at things like that.
I think it's going to help some of them, particularly the price of barriers. You know, it's $1,500 and any amount is helpful.
Tom Boucher is the president and CEO of the Great New Hampshire Restaurant Company. He says some people are still reluctant to dine in, so these additional precautions might help mitigate concerns. And in their restaurants, they're installing air purifiers designed to kill viruses, including COVID.
All of our locations will have those air purifiers. And they were not inexpensive, but we just felt it was the right thing to do. get people to feel safe dining at great New Hampshire restaurants.
As for the grants, the Chamber says they've already had 5 restaurants apply.
They can do an online application on the Chamber's website, and it's not very difficult to fill out.
The deadline for restaurants to apply for the grants is November 20th. In Concord, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. '21 Boston Marathon postponed to at least fall of that year. BAA announces new date will still undetermined. Citing ongoing concerns related to COVID-19, the Boston Athletic Association has decided to postpone the 2021 Boston Marathon to the fall. New Hampshire man accused of hitting woman with car on I-95 in Massachusetts. Man faces domestic assault charges. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
Now is the time to add another Chevy to your driveway at Fentley Chevrolet. Buy a new 2020 Chevy Silverado 4x4 LT Double Cab All-Star Edition pickup, nicely equipped, just $38,492.
Overnight, a driver now facing domestic assault charges after allegedly striking a woman with his car. This incident happened on 95 in Canton. State police say a man and woman were pulled over in the breakdown lane just after 10 last night. The victim was standing outside the car when the driver got back in and struck her with his car. Police say the 35-year-old New Hampshire woman was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The 28-year-old New Hampshire man is due in court later today.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Plymouth sees rise in COVID-19 cases. High school and 4 eateries temporarily closed. Town officials reinforce message of prevention. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Town officials are dealing with 12 cases of COVID-19, an increase from what they've been seeing.
That's a concern for a community this size in particular.
The high school had to be shut down on Monday after a student tested positive. 4 restaurants are also now closed.
They reported positive cases to us and the state and subsequently closed their doors. They're all doing a deep cleaning, of course.
The state is doing contact tracing to determine the dates where exposure was possible before releasing the names of the restaurants. The town's emergency management director says he blames the uptick on COVID fatigue and he's pushing prevention.
Proper hygiene, social distancing, wearing a face covering, and those things will help that spread.
Plymouth State University also just saw the largest number of positive COVID-19 test results in 1 week.
Right now, as of today, we have 17 current cases, which isn't a surprise based on what's happening across the country.
More than 100 students are also in quarantine, some due to contact tracing and others who are symptomatic. Dining is now only takeout and sports practices have been stopped.
If everybody continues doing the right thing, wearing their masks and social distancing and getting tested every week, I think we have a really good chance to be where we are right now and be here in person until the end of the semester.
The semester this year will end just before Thanksgiving. Students will return on January 25th. The school tells us they will be doing pre-arrival testing once again. Reporting in Plymouth, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester police need your help. Wanted. Manchester police are actively looking for 18-year-old Justin Salinas of Manchester in connection with a shooting that took place on October 24th, 2020. Salinas is wanted on charges of first-degree assault. On the above-mentioned date, at approximately 10:30 p.m., Manchester police responded to the Dollar Dulux at 334 Union Street for a report of a shooting. When officers arrived, they located two people who had suffered gunshot wounds. Both were transported to a local hospital for treatment. Shortly after, a third victim showed up at the hospital with a suspected gunshot wound. The shootings did not appear to be random. Salinas is a white male, approximately 5'3" tall and 140 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. If you have any information in regards to Salinas' whereabouts, you are asked to call Manchester Police at 603-668-8711. You can remain anonymous to call the crime line at 603-624-4040. Any information that leads to a conviction will be an award. The Raymond Police Department need your help. Take a look at these photos here. Raymond Police are asking for your help. We are investigating a recent theft from Ben Franklin's and are trying to identify this person. If you have any information, please call 895-4747 or ask Officer Boyd, or you can email him at rboyd@raymondnewhampshire.gov. And if you recognize this person, call the Raymond Police Department. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.